So those of you who have been following along for a little bit may have noticed that I've developed a little bit of a thing for two-tone watches, and today that trend continues. But we're going to be spicing it up with an NH34 GMT build. I'm Jason from JB Watch Mods. Welcome back to the channel. Now let's take a close look at these parts we're going to be using today, and then we can get stuck straight into the build. So the parts we're going to be using, we've got this beautiful two-tone Jubilee bracelet. This one's got the glide lock style clasp, which is really nice. It's also got micro adjustment in the clasp as well, which is a really nice feature. Looks beautiful, this bracelet. Really like it. Now that's going to pair beautifully with our case here, which is obviously two-tone as well. We've got the gold bezel, gold crown, sapphire crystal, exhibition case back on this one as well, so that's going to look really nice. Screw down crown, screw down case back. Really beautiful case, this one. Now to go in our case, we've got our ceramic two-tone GMT bezel. This one's grey over black with the yellow numbers around the sides. It's going to look awesome. Going to be a killer combination, this one. Now our hands, we're using Mercedes style hands, obviously all gold, keep with the theme. It's going to look really nice, really classy. Got the gold GMT hand as well. Now our dial we're going to be using. Got this beautiful black dial. It's got the gold hour markers around the side. Gold GMT Master 2 on the dial. It's going to look awesome. Going to be a killer combination. And then we've got the star of the show, which is the NH34 movement. So this one's obviously the GMT movement, which allows you to track that second time zone, I should say. Super handy if you travel overseas. So yeah, really practical movement. Also got the date complication as well. So that's what we're going to be using today. Now our first step is to get this paired with the dial. Now your NH34 movement has a dial washer which goes between the dial and the movement, which you have to pop on first, which you can see this one's already got it on, but I'll try and get you a close up so you can see. So just on the post there you can see it's got that curved washer on there, so you just got to make sure to pop that on before you put your dial on. So our dial, we just need to cut off the feet on the back before we compare it with the movement. So we'll just test it, see which feet we need to cut off. So just this one, so we'll just get our side cutters here. Cut our feet off. And then we'll just file those little stubs down. So I just use the knurling on my screwdriver, just because it's super soft metal, so you don't really need a lot. And once you have those filed down, we'll give it a blow, just to get rid of any metal shavings. Obviously we don't want those going through our movement. Now we can fit the two together. just like so. Just give that another blow down. I'll just get my rotico here. Just give that dial a bit of a clean off. I just try to clean everything as much as I can while I'm going. You don't want to get too much rubbish on the dial or on the hand, so just clean as we go. So now we can get the hands fitted. I'll just grab my movement holder, pop that in my movement holder. Now to fit the hands, we need to get the movement at 12 o'clock. So to do that, basically we pull this crown out and turn it until the date changes. When the date changes, that's how you know the movement's at 12 o'clock. Just wind it over. Now it's starting to turn over now. So we'll just go slow. Just go slowly here until we see it flick over. Right there. So now we know that we're at 12 o'clock on the movement. We can set our hands accordingly. So we'll get our hand press. Pop that under. Obviously we do our GMT hand first. So the way I do this is I get my rotico, which is basically like blue tack, jeweler's blue tack. Get my GMT hand, or any hand for that matter. Just pop the hand into the end of the rotico like so. That way you hold onto the hand without scratching it. Okay, so we have our GMT hand on now. Just double check, make sure it's sitting on the post nice and flush, which it is. Now we'll move on to our hour hand. Same process. Oops. Pop it into the end of the rotico. Pop it on like so. Just make sure we have proper clearance there. We're not going to foul anywhere. We're looking good. So now we'll move on to our hour hand. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now all our hands are pressed on except for the second hand. So what we'll do is we'll rotate the movement over twice, just making sure that all our hands have the proper clearances. None of the hands are going to foul on anything. We'll just make sure it rotate it over twice and everything lines back up once we get to 12 o'clock. And that date wheel is going to flick over as well. So there we are, spot on. So now that we know the alignment's good, we're happy with all the clearances, we can go ahead and put our second hand on. like so. So same process again, just double checking everything, making sure that everything clears. We'll push our crown in, make sure that second hand turns over like it should be. Perfect, everything looks great here, so I'm happy to move on to the next step now, which is getting this fitted to the case. So let's get our case here. Pop this case back off. Now first thing we need to do before we pair the two together is make sure this sapphire is super clean. So to do that we use our blower and our lens pen, which is just here. And we just make sure we get this super clean so we don't end up with any dust under there. Alright, it actually looks really clean, so we can get our dial here. Also give this one blow down. And we pull our crown stem out. So to do that we just push it in. There's a small tab here on the back of the movement which you just push down and the crown will just pop straight out. Just make sure this is super clean. And we can pair the two together. Now to line it up. So to line it up, you've got your cutout where your crown goes into the movement here. So obviously we'll just line that up with our crown on the case. Like so. And now we're getting there. So I'll just double check, make sure we're all clean under the crystal. Now's the easiest time, the best time to find any dust under there because it's easy to take out. So I'm really happy with it. Looking good, nice and clean under there. I think this is going to look awesome when it's done. Can't wait to see the finished product. So next step is to get our crown stem cut to size. So when you purchase your movement, your NH34, like the NH35, you'll get a new crown stem. Now these are the same as the NH35, so if you do cut it too short and you've got some NH35 crown stems lying around, you can use them. So I have my template here, which is about 17mm long for a Submariner 40mm case. So I'll just use my template here to cut this roughly to size. Then we can dial it in afterwards. So just using your side cutters again, super easy to cut through. We'll give it a test run, see how she looks. All right. It looks pretty good. We're just a couple of mil off, so you can see maybe just here there's about a millimeter gap there, so might be hard to see, but there's a small gap between the crown and the case. So I'll take it back off, chop off about 1 millimeter, and we'll try it again. All right. There's no rush when you're doing this process, so just take your time. Doesn't matter how many attempts it takes you. So let's see how she looks. I think it's going to be spot on this time. Now look at that. No gap there, just perfectly flush with the crown and the case back. So very happy with that. So now what we're going to do, pull it out one last time, pop some Loctite on the threads, and happy days. So when you're holding your crown stem with your side cutters, hold it by the threads at the bottom of the threads. If you hold it on the end of the crown stem at any part, you can damage it and it may not work within the movement. So make sure you hold it by the end of the threads. Just got our medium strength Loctite here. Just a small dab on the end of your threads. Now, if you don't use Loctite, what can happen is the crown can come loose from the crown stem and you won't be able to change the time or do anything really. Your watch will stop working. So super important that you put Loctite on there, I believe. So now that we've done that, wipe off the excess Loctite and it's ready to go back in for the final time. Okay, so now that we're happy with the fitment of our crown, we can go ahead and fit our case back. So what I'll do is I'll lubricate our case back gasket, pop it into here. That's just some silicone grease. Now lubricating your case back gasket is super important as well because it'll help maintain the water resistance rating of the watch. Just provides an extra barrier of resistance. So we've got that fitted into the groove in the case. Now being a display case back, we need to get this super clean as well. So same method as our sapphire crystal on the case, just using a blower, lens pen, just get this nice and clean. Gives the back of the case a blowout as well. Now we're ready to pair the two together and seal her up. So we'll get a case back tool here to lock it up, which is this. This is a really good tool as well, super handy to have. These are interchangeable, so I've got a set, comes with a set, different sizes. Really handy to have. I'll leave links for all the tools that I use in the description below as well. So if you see a tool that you like, you can grab one for yourself. I'll also leave all the parts that I've used in the description below as well. Alright, this is looking unreal. I'm loving the look of this so far. So now that that is all good, we're all sealed up, case is watertight. Let's get our ceramic bezel on. Now with this case, it's already got the double-sided tape on the bezel. So all we need to do is remove that protective layer, and then we can fit our bezel. I'll pop that off. Grab our bezel insert and just lining obviously the arrow up with the 12 o'clock mark. Like so. Putting that bezel insert just transforms it. Just looks unreal now. Looks awesome. I'm loving the look of this. Now, some of you who've been watching my videos for a while know that I've been on a bit of a two-tone kick, and this watch is no exception. This is awesome. I'm just digging the two-tone at the moment. Can't help myself. What better than a two-tone GMT? Alright, so our last step. Let's get this bracelet fitted. And then we are done. Now, like I said, this watch will be available for sale, so if you do want to pick it up, head over to jbwatchmods.com.au and you can grab this watch for yourself. If you do want to build it, I'll leave everything linked below, so check out the links below and you can grab all the parts that I've used to make this beauty. Alright, she's all done. Someone commented on one of my videos that two-tone is classic, not a trend, and that is so true. It's just a classic looking watch. Let me know what you guys think. Now I'm going to run some B-roll and we can look and see how this watch really looks. That's it for this week's video, guys. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of two-tone watches? Do you have one in your collection? Would you rock this watch? Keen to hear your thoughts below. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.